Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego, and today we're going to continue to talk about Black Adam. That's right, Black Adam. This is the real Black Adam right there. Black Adam, that new movie that came out this past weekend, starring Dwayne the Rock Johnson, okay, and a cast of other fucking people that you probably don't care about, except for Pierce Bronson, Remington Steele himself. All right, I'm Diego, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to break down this movie scene by scene and give you an honest comic book expert's opinion. That's me, comic book expert's opinion on this movie. Okay, I've been reading comic books most of my life. Even before I was able to read, I was still looking at comic books. You know, I do know who Black Adam is. I've always known who Black Adam is. I've always thought he was a cool character. He has never been depicted in live action before. This is the first time. Okay, so I was always excited to see what would this character be like because I was fascinated with the character. This guy's an evil Captain Marvel is basically what he is. You know, he's a little bit, he's interesting. He's very interesting. You know, I like the fact that he's evil and he's fucking indestructible and all these kind of things. He's an evil Superman. But there is a bit of a nobility to him. There's a reason he acts that way. Okay, it's not just because he's evil to be evil. Okay, there's more pathos to him and there's more hubris. And I enjoy that about the character. This movie, right here, I'm telling you right now, spoilers. Okay, this is not that Black Adam. Okay, this is not the comic book Black Adam. Okay, in the mid '90s, this writer named Jeff Johns, who became a producer in Hollywood, but this comic book writer named Jeff Johns, okay, he decided to take the character of Black Adam, bring him back into the modern era, and he turned him into an anti-hero. Okay, and that lasted for maybe 5 years, and then they reverted it and turned him back into a villain. He started doing villainous things again. Okay, because he worked better as a villain than he does as an anti-hero. Okay, he's not an anti-hero. This isn't someone to look up to, someone who's cool, he only kills bad guys. No, he kills anybody, everybody, okay, if you get in his way. Okay, when he did flip over and became a bad guy again, he wiped out an entire fucking country of people. Okay, not just the leaders, not just their military, all the civilians too. And he did it because they had pissed him off. His country had offended him. His country had attacked him. He lost his wife. He lost his brother-in-law that he shared his powers with. So he was pissed, okay? And he even fought his friends when they tried to stop him. Okay, so no, this Black Adam doesn't give a shit. What he cares about is his country, himself, and his family. That's all he cares about. Anything that gets in the way of that, of what he wants to do, you're fucking dead. And there's very few people that can take down Black Adam. That's who he is in the comic books. That character works. That is not the character we get in this movie. Okay, Dwayne the Rock Johnson is not going to play a fucking villain. He has not played a villain in a very long time. It's been 10 years since he did Get Smart. And even in that movie, he was a surprise villain at the end. Okay, and it's been a long time since he did his first movie, you know, The Mummy Returns, where he was the Scorpion King. And they did that bad CGI at the end where he's like a half scorpion, half human thing with the horrible CGI. He was a bad guy in that, but he had no English speaking words in that movie. Okay, and he was mostly CGI. Okay, so yeah, it's been a long time. When you're a leading man, you tend to not play bad guys again unless your career is on the downward slope because you want the audience to love you, not to fucking, you know, to root for the hero against you. Okay, so yeah, so I'm pretty sure there's a clause in his contract saying that he will not play an evil, disgusting person in any of his movies because that would hurt his brand. Okay, lots of movie stars do this. That's why Tom Cruise never plays a villain. When was the last time Tom Cruise plays a villain? Okay, well, it was Interview with a Vampire. That was like what, 30 years ago? Yeah, that was the last time he played a villain. And don't count Tropic Thunder. He was playing a cartoon character in that. Okay. You know, look at Sylvester Stallone. When was the last time Sylvester Stallone played a villain? Huh? Can you even think of it? Yeah, Spy Kids. That's when his career was in the shitter. That was like in the mid 2000s. Okay, that was a long time. That's before he did Rocky 6. So yeah, so that was like a good fucking 20 years ago. Okay, Spy Kids 3. Yeah, Stallone doesn't play villains. Okay, look at Schwarzenegger. Okay. He even quit being a fucking evil Terminator in 1992. He became a good Terminator. Okay, so it's like, you know, there's a reason for this. Okay, they don't play bad guys anymore. Once they're at a star level, they don't play bad guys. The up and coming actors play the bad guy, not the established star. Okay, so the Rock does not have the fucking balls to play a fucking villain. He does not. He does not. And that pisses me off because Black Adam is a fucking villain. We don't really see that. When was the last time you saw a movie where the villain was the main character? And don't say this. Don't say that bullshit anti-hero. I'm not talking about shit like fucking like Death Wish or Payback with Mel Gibson. No, these were anti-heroes. These were not villains. When was the last time a villain, evil motherfucker, was the main character? Well, you got the horror franchise, your Friday the 13th, your Child's Play movies, that kind of thing, your Nightmare on Elm Street. No, when was the last time? Okay, in a mainstream movie, okay? You don't really get it. I can't even think of one right now, okay? But a villain can carry a movie by himself. He can. You just got to have some kick-ass good guys for him to fight. Okay, and that would be interesting. I want to see that. I want to see the movie from the villain's point of view. Okay, that would have been perfect. That's something original. That's something we haven't seen before. Yeah, that would have been great. But that's not what we got. We got an anti-hero. Okay. Now they did this in Suicide Squad from 2016. These villains. Supposed villains that were supposed to go on this top secret mission for Amanda Waller to rescue her ass. Okay, we've all seen that piece of shit movie. Okay, they weren't really villains. They were all anti-heroes. They weren't villains. So it's like I don't care. The only villains that were in the movie, with the exception of the Joker, get killed. They get killed. So it doesn't fucking matter. Slipknot. Yeah, he died right away. And everyone else was an anti-hero. So what does it fucking matter? It doesn't. You see what I mean? Okay, so it's like, they made Deadshot an assassin into a good guy, the Father of the Year. He's a good guy who just happens to fucking kill people, but he only kills evil people. And he does it for his daughter because he loves her so much. He's a good dad. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. If you're a good dad, you wouldn't be fucking killing people for a living. And they could have played it off. There's lots of evil people that still love. Even Black Adam is evil, but he loves his family. He loves his wife. He loves his brother-in-law. He would never hurt them. You see what I mean? But yet he's still evil. He'll still kill people, anybody, good or bad, that gets in his way from what he wants, what he thinks is best. That's a great villain. The fact that he's invulnerable makes him extremely fucking dangerous. Think like Homelander. But Homelander's is an egotist, okay? Black Adam already knows he's a shit. He doesn't need to tell everybody all the time how great he is like Homelander does, okay? He doesn't need to manipulate people and stuff. He's a force of nature himself, okay? And that's not what we got here. What we got is basically The Rock acting stoic, morose, he's all very melancholy a lot, just, I kill people. Acting very comic booky, not a lot of wide range of emotions here, okay? And the fact that he's not really evil means that you root for him. You had to create an evil character for him to fight. Let's face it, when you have an evil guy against a group of superheroes, what's going to happen? What always happens? They end up teaming up to fight a more evil threat. That's what always fucking happens. It happens in the comic books all the fucking time. Whenever you have two superheroes fighting each other, they end up teaming up to fight the real bad guy. And that's what happens in this movie too. The real evil bad guy, I don't even fucking remember his name. He's so fucking a nothing. He's a nothing burger. Can you remember his name? Can you remember his powers? Was a character? I don't. Because I don't give a shit. This movie already had a villain. They didn't use him. How interesting that would have been? You talk about a franchise. Every movie he's got to fight a different good guy. Yeah, that would be cool. You can root for him without really liking him, in a sense. There's this movie I saw called Hunting Humans. It's a low budget B movie, but it was made on a shoestring budget. It really was. Hunting Humans. I think it came out in 2002 or something, 2003. But it's a movie about a serial killer. Who goes around. You're in his point of view, like American Psycho. You're in his point of view. He's out there killing people. Okay, and he talks to the audience through his narration how he does it, how he pretends to be this nice guy at work, but he's really out there hunting people. He stalks them first. He sees what their patterns are. He follows them home. He goes through their garbage. He sees what time they get off of work. He pays attention to how they get in there. That kind of stuff, and then he plans out how he's going to kill this person. All right, that's what he does, and he loves doing it. He's a psychopath. And then one day he decides to kill this guy that works at a movie theater. He already knows what time that guy's going to get off of work that day. He already knows how he leaves the door halfway closed so he can get in. He knows exactly when to kill this guy. He's been following him for weeks. He knows everything about this guy. So on the night that he decides to kill him, he's ready. He goes up, he sneaks into the fucking movie theater because he knows that he's the only employee there on Thursday nights. So he goes in there, he opens the door to kill the guy, and the guy is already dead. Someone else already killed him. Ooh. Now, this serial killer's name is Eric, okay? And there's a note attached to the dead body. And there's a knife in the dead body and a note. And Eric reads the note, and it says, "I've got your pattern, Eric." Now, how's that for a fucking movie, right? There's no good guys in this movie. One serial killer under another one. Who's gonna win? And the death toll just mounts throughout the whole movie. It's a big mind-fucking psychological thriller. You know, like they're each trying to manipulate each other. They're each trying to get the upper hand on each other. We don't know who the other one is. We got to figure that out, just like he does. He doesn't know who it is, but this guy's getting him. You know, so it's like it's this cat and mouse. Yeah, I'll tell you what. There are no good guys in this movie. In that movie, all the good characters get murdered. You know, but let me tell you something. You cannot stop watching it. It was like fucking cocaine. It's like, oh my God, I gotta see who's gonna win this thing. Because they're both evil, manipulating, intelligent psychopaths. Which one is gonna win? You can't help but watch. That would have been great for this. How is he gonna win? How are the good guys gonna stop him? You know, that would have been great, but we didn't get that. We just got a guy who's, you know, just angry. You know, he does what he wants, but he doesn't really do anything super evil. He kills a lot of people, but the only people he kills are bad guys, so what the fuck does it matter? That's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. That's the Punisher. That's fucking the Death Wish movies. That's the fucking Trainspotting movies. That's every fucking action from Die Hard to fucking whatever the hell's popular. Fast and Furious. Even in that, they're not really bad guys. Remember, they were the criminal. They were the bad guys in the first movie. Now they're the heroes. You know, so it's like, you know, Point Break. I mean, come on. That's every franchise. No big deal. He's not a villain. He's not a villain if he only kills evil people. You know? I mean, this movie makes it look like it's a good thing to kill people. You know, even though they're bad guys and they got guns, you know, they can't hurt him, but he kills them anyway. He kills them just because, you know, they're criminals. They don't deserve to live. And they play it with fucking like pop music while he's killing people. You know, because I guess it's cool to kill people. So when the Justice Society tells him, hey, listen, man, you got to stop killing people. Okay, heroes don't kill people. You know? Well, yeah, they do in this movie because this movie makes it cool. They started playing Painted Black, you know? I seen the red room and I want to paint it black. And they're playing that while he's murdering all these like evil terrorists, you know? No, this movie's telling you it's cool to kill people. You know, I mean, yeah, whatever. Okay, so where I left off in the last video, I was giving you a list of the credits of the actors. Everyone went through the actors. This movie is directed by this movie is directed by a guy named Jaume Collet Serra. I don't know who the fuck he is, but he did direct some other movies. He directed a movie called Orphan in 2008, which I never saw. He directed Jungle Cruise in 2021, which I did see. That's with The Rock and Emily Blunt. That's where they go. And it's something, I'm not going to ruin the movie for you, but something that I didn't know. I did not know that the Spanish conquistadors of the 1400s had steroids. Yeah. Also, House of Wax, he did that 2005 movie with Paris Hilton. Yeah, he did that, okay? And he directed this as well, okay? So now you know who that is, okay? So this movie begins in Kandak, which is 5,000 years ago, you know? Basically, there's the whole story about the prologue, about this kid. You know, the whole story is how the emperor, King, what the fuck's his name? King something. King Aptum, he seized power, he forged a crown, made of vibranium. Oh, sorry. Made of unobtainium. Sorry. Made of adamantium. Oh, sorry. No, made of eternium. Sorry, I keep getting the rare superpowered metals confused. Okay. Eternium. Okay, yeah, it's the DC Comics version of vibranium. Okay, from Wakanda. Okay, and they're all slaves. He's enslaved his own people to mine the rock for vibranium. The old man finds it. He turns it in. The guard fucking doesn't give him his reward for it, but he insists. But the kid, this little kid who's outspoken fucking little kid named Hurut, who's also a slave himself. He speaks up on behalf of the old man. Says, no, he got the Eternium for you. You need to give him his reward. So the guard, okay, I'll give you a reward. He fucking kills the old man. And then he looks at the kid. He goes, you want your reward too? Well, the kid walks away. He's about to get killed, but then his dad shows up. His dad is actually Teth Adam. Okay, we find out later on that that's Black Adam, not the kid. But this movie right now makes you think that the kid is Teth Adam. Okay? So he saves this kid from getting killed. He tells him, hey, keep your head down. Don't ask these guards for anything, you know. He's like, it's not fair, Dad. It's not fair. We found what they were looking for and we got nothing for it. They're still treating us the same. So he decides to run away. He steals the Eternium from the guard and he holds it up like this as a sign of defiance for all the other slaves. All the slaves see this because it's bright and sunny out there in the fucking desert. So they all make the same symbol of freedom. So that means that the guard now is about to kill the kid. So they take the kid in. His dad can't save him this time. And they're about to execute him with a fucking Scorpion King sword, okay, in front of King Aptum. And all of a sudden he gets disappeared. He vanishes. He shows up in the secret ancient temple that we saw in the Shazam movie, where the wizard Shazam and the 6 other wizards of the universe, who we don't fucking know who the fuck they are, they're all there, and they decide that this little boy is going to be the chosen champion to receive the powers of the 6 Egyptian gods. So boom, they blast him with the powers of the gods. Okay, the next scene we see, the whole time this is happening, some kid is narrating the story. As we see the king, his crown made of Eternium is finally ready. They're passing it to him up the stairs of his throne. And then all of a sudden, fucking Black Adam shows up. We see him, he's the champion. Now we assume that it's the kid, Hurut, okay, that got swiped into there, but we find out later on that it's not, it's actually his dad. I know I'm spoiling it for you, but this is the truth. All right, so he shows up there. We don't see the fight happen. We don't see it take place, but we do see the temple get blown up. So basically everybody there dies, okay, except for, we're assuming, Black Adam. Okay, but the temple blows up, okay? Now you fast forward into, now there were some innocent people in this temple, okay? Not everybody there was evil, okay? But the movie doesn't focus on that because that would take away from you liking the character of Black Adam later on when you find out that he actually kills innocent people too. Okay, that's the reason. That's what I'm talking about. This movie has no balls. All right, they have no balls to make a villain a bad guy. Okay, which he is. Okay, so the next thing we see is modern day Kahndaq, and guess what? I guess they rebuilt the temple. I guess a long time ago. So it looks fine now. Looks better than it did back then. Yeah, like they rebuilt the same. Yeah. That's never explained. We just saw it blow up and now it's back. Only it's 2022 now. All right. So obviously it's a modern era now. They got like a Starbucks and shit there and stuff, you know. It's all that kind of shit. So we're introduced to this kid. What the fuck's the kid's name? Amon. Amon, he's a skateboard kid in fucking Kahndaq. You know, he narrates that fucking the country's been taken over by this evil group called Intergang, which is composed of nothing but white British guys. I guess they're all mercenaries. Yeah, they're called Intergang, and they've taken over the entire country, which consists of this little fucking city. All right, and they've taken over the temple because they're mining. They're mining for, I guess, Eternium in the temple. It's worth a lot of money now. It still exists, and so they take it there, and it's only a matter of time before they find some. Okay, once they have enough Eternium, someone is going to find the fucking. They're going to find the crown of King Aptum, and whoever puts it on is going to unleash the evil of the world. So the world's at stake again, you know, in danger again. All right, whatever. So it's only a matter of time. So of course, Amon and his super feminist single mom, they break in, they disguise themselves along with the kid's uncle. And they go in a Jeep and they disguise themselves. She's hiding inside the Jeep and they say, we're electricians, we're just there to help out, whatever. And of course the evil British Intergang guard questions them and stuff. And you've got this other guy, this other Arabian guy in there named Ishmael. He's with the team too, but he's hiding a gun in his jacket. So if this goes south, he's gonna shoot the guard and go in there anyway. That's what we think. Okay, so obviously he's got his own agenda going on. But even though she gets snuck in there, her son immediately shows up on a skateboard, the one who's been narrating the story so far, and says hi to his mom. So she sneaks out, they start talking. I guess the guy driving the Jeep is his uncle, it's her brother. He's the fat comic relief guy. And you know that because he talks about how cool and sexy he is, how women love his bald spot with his curly hair, despite the fact that he's a disgusting fat piece of shit. Now, he's a nice guy and he's got a sense of humor, okay, but he's your typical fucking cliche in these movies. You've always got the fucking guy that's out of shape, okay, that's dopey looking, okay, that has no charisma, that has no fucking dexterity, okay, that listens to fucking cheesy fucking love songs from the fucking 70s, but yet he still thinks he's God's gift, because that's funny, right? You know, the whole Kevin James thing, that's basically Kevin James' career right there. Yeah, Patton Oswalt, yeah, those guys. All right, he's one of them. I guess they couldn't afford them because they're not Arabian. So that's what he is, okay? He's a likable guy, but come on. I can see a fucking cliche, a trope a mile away. And that's his purpose in here, all right? Well, it turns out that Adriana, that's the woman's name, Adriana, who in the comic books later on, she becomes the superhero Isis, okay, even though she marries Black Adam. Black Adam gives her powers. Anyway, she becomes Isis, and I did watch that show in the 70s with Joanna Cameron. I know she passed away last year, but yes, I did watch Isis, the Mighty Isis with the Shazam show as well. Captain Marvel was on the show in the 70s. They didn't fight any super villains. They just drove up and down fucking Northern California in their Winnebago. You had this old 70-year-old man dressed in a fucking Australian safari outfit, and then you had this fucking little kid, fucking Billy Batson, who looked fucking Mexican. He also looked like he was 22 years old. And they would go up and down fucking California, rescuing cats and talking kids out of running away, and and not stealing bikes and shit like that, not drinking alcohol when they're underage. Yeah, that's how they saved the world back in the early 70s. Okay. Anyway, we're not talking about that. They never featured Black Adam, but they did feature Isis. She got her own show, and they did guest star on each other's shows every once in a while too. Okay, but anyway, so that's going on here. So they sneak in there. Now, she does point out that she has a necklace made of eternium. It was handed to her from her grandmother, who was handed to her from her grandmother, from her grandmother, from her grandmother. Okay, yeah, exactly. And one of the guys in the car, the guy that's sitting in the middle, he tells her, hey, that's worth a lot of money. She's like, I'm not going to sell it. It's a family heirloom. It means something to me, that kind of thing. All right, so that's going on here. Blah, blah, blah. So they sneak into the temple. All right. So that's going on here. All right, blah, blah, fine, okay. So they sneak Adriana into the temple. Okay, like I said, she has the Eternium necklace, okay. It's her family heirloom. And then Kareem, that's her brother's name, is Kareem. Okay, he's that fat slob, okay, that thinks he's God's gift to women. He talks about how the girls like his ball spot, like that's all fucking cool and shit. So anyway, they sneak their way into the fucking temple and they go in there, okay? Now, what they do not realize that Intergang was already expecting them to be in there, okay? So they set it like a trap for them, okay? Now, inside this temple is the resting place of Black Adam, the so-called champion of Kahndaq. And what they really want to do is they want to release Black Adam, get the crown made of Eternium, steal that, and release Black Adam as their champion, because right now the country of Kahndaq needs a champion, right? Right? Is there anything familiar about this? I seem to have certain familiarity about this. There was a country in the Middle East that ended in Ak, and I remember the foreign invaders were in there. I think I was a part of that foreign invasion. What was that, 2004? Yeah, it might have been, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, this might have hit close to home, if you know what I mean. All right. So that's going on here. Okay. And Intergang is going to grab her. All right. And they surround the place. They surround them. Okay. So she has no choice. Okay. They kill one of the guys already, and they're going to kill her. So she decides she's hiding from them. Okay. But they threaten to kill, Kareem stays out in the car, but they threaten to kill Ishmael, the other guy that she was with. If she doesn't fucking give up the crown. Okay, so instead she reads the ancient, I guess she knows how to read ancient Egyptian Kahndaq, and she reads the spell that has trapped Black Adam, because if you want to keep somebody trapped for all of eternity where they can never get out, what you have to do is you have to spell the, you have to write out the release spell on top of the tomb. Okay, that way it never gets read and he doesn't get free just like fucking that. Okay, so anyways, that happens. Okay, all right, I'm going to stop my review right here. Okay, and I'll be back soon with the next chapter in the Black Adam movie. And I thank you very much for watching as long as you have, and I will see you soon on the next one. Bye.